We like to talk about reason, but sometimes you have to think about another subject before coming to the focus. In fact, that is mostly the case. For a real good understanding, it would be good to think about all subjects at the same time. But for a speech and for discursive thinking, however, that cannot be. There always has to be some consecution. First, therefore, let us talk about emotion. Because there are many misunderstandings concerning the relation between emotion and reason. We all know that nowadays we find emotions very important. TV, for instance, is very important. Most of the interviews simply seek emotion, and many people are waiting for tears to come. We are even very interested in negative emotion. In aggressive films, for instance. And it becomes worse as the time goes by. Violence, for instance, was in the beginning of film industry a function of justice against evil persons. Violence was the last possibility of the hero, who reluctantly used it for the good and benefit of all. If we look carefully, we can see nowadays that violence has become many times a purpose in itself. I think everyone knows what I mean. It is an important and interesting subject to think about, how and why it has come so far. Perhaps money, among other things, plays an important role. But by now, that is not our subject. We just want to state that emotions as such play an important role. We seemingly like emotions very much. But is that true? Do we really like emotions? Or do they simply go along with something else? Are they not simply an effect of something else that we find really important? We are crying about something, and that something is the important thing. The same thing counts for the other emotions, of course. So it is not primarily the emotions that we find so important. But why do we seek so much exhibition of emotions then? I think that we primarily seek the acceptance of emotion. In macho culture, for instance, you do not show emotion, and that requires a lot of effort and can in time lead to inner weakness. And in severe, especially Protestant religion, emotion is experienced as lack of control. And that is exactly what is attractive of emotion. There is, in a way, a sign of weakness in emotion. That is true. Sometimes we say that we break at the moment we start to cry. We surely somewhere want acceptance of weakness. We want to approach weakness. Why? That is a simple truth. When we approach weakness, get close to it, get confidential with it, then we become strong. We can find this meeting of opposites in, for instance, old Chinese philosophy. And of course, in its ultimate form, in Christianity. Next time, we will go further into this, with the goal of coming closer to that very interesting subject of reason.